All right, thank you. This is a story about how my people met my people. But before I get there, I want to just give a shout out to my parents who are here, and this is their 50th anniversary this week. Yep. And some other people of mine, my grandmother, who is now 94, and that's just good enough, don't you think? Right? All right, so my people, I am Jewish, and we are the chosen people, chosen for persecution, chosen for lots of bad things. The Holocaust, not so good. And another bad thing is we get blamed for shit that we didn't do. Like 9/11, they put that on us. Killing Christ, yeah, they put that on us too. And the thing is, it just always seems to be happening. Even Ben Franklin, right? Remember Ben? He didn't want us in the country. He thought we were vampires. Literally, he was working to try to keep us out. So it's just a constant theme. Being Jewish, it's rough. But to talk about Jews, you need to understand our traditions. And the first tradition I'm going to talk about for Jews is overnight camp. So, yeah. So as a Jew, it's kind of required. You go to overnight camp. And it's kind of a privileged thing. Yeah, I get it, but it's wonderful. And it was in my overnight camp that I was exposed to a subgenre within Judaism, which is the New York City Jewish kid, right? This is a different breed of Jew. These kids are like streetwise. They've seen stuff. And this is the early 80s. And so we're at the basketball court one day, and one of the kids, Seth, that is his name, doesn't matter, brings out a boombox. All right, a boombox. All right, it played a cassette tape. All right, it's like an MP3. All right, it's like a Bluetooth. All right, it plays music, right? And he hits play, and all of a sudden, Hard Times, Run DMC comes on. I'd never heard rap music. None of us had heard rap music. They were like early into this shit, and it connected with me at a deep level. I mean, the beat, and then he started dancing. He started popping, he started locking, and I was just like, whoa. So there's music, and there's a dance, and it spoke to me at a very deep level. Now, I get it, it's ironic, right? We're Jewish privileged kids, listen to rap music, but not as ironic as you think, because I grew up, like some people, being persecuted as being Jewish. I had pennies thrown at me. I was at a junior high school, one of two Jewish kids, and it got so bad I had to leave the school. I'm not gonna go into details, but I also felt, in many regards, oppressed. So this music really connected with me, and I found it, and I loved it, and I learned to dance, the break dance, and the whole thing. And so another Jewish tradition you need to understand is the bar mitzvah. So the bar mitzvah, for those who don't know, is when a Jewish boy is circumcised publicly in front of his family and friends. No, that's actually not what happens. It's very close. A Jewish boy is asked to sing in another language in the middle of puberty. So you choose what you'd rather do, right? So, but the present you get out of this is a party. And I wanted one thing out of this party. I wanted breakdancers. And my parents, like, what? There weren't any breakdancers in Philadelphia. They had to go to New York. And they brought in a crew of breakdancers to my bar mitzvah. And so I don't know if you can imagine, this was outdoors, there was a nice little picnic party. And, they're all sitting around having their food. And these four African-American, they were called black guys back then, with Jerry curl and like Foster Grants, and like, I think it was Eddie Murphy, they called it like the Captain Crunch epaulette, like military jackets, come in. And they just start, they walk in, and they are just, and people, the music drops, the bass line hits, and first the Jews are kind of thinking they might get mugged, and then they see these guys start to move, unlike anybody they'd ever seen. This is just about the time Michael Jackson did that first moonwalk, remember that? And everyone was blown away. Well, these guys were well beyond that. So they start to dance, and the crowd gets into it. And I felt like I was, bringing some of my people to my people. And I felt the culture happen. And it was a wonderful moment to finally see them relax a little bit and realize they're not going to get hurt, and they're going to have a wonderful time. And this connection to the African-American people followed me to college. I took a course called Theological Themes in Black History with this professor, Charles Rice. And I walked into this class thinking, I'm very steeped in the black history, and I've been following it. And he looked at me, and he said, listen, you're racist. And I said, what? He's like, no, you're racist. And he pointed to everyone in the class that was white. You're all racist. It's not your fault, but you are. You grew up in this culture, privileged, you're racist. But you have a responsibility now that you know you're racist. And I challenge you all, you're anti-Semitic. You have a responsibility now that you know you're anti-Semitic to do something about it, to get educated, to understand some of our people, and get to know our people and your people. Thank you.